All right, so good to be back. This is going to be part 2 of the print function. And so if you haven't checked the first part, you can check my previous video. So today's video, we are looking at this second argument, which is the separator. So the explanation down here says string inserted between values, default a space. So this is the string that is inserted between values, but the default obviously is going to be a space. All right, so let's say you have passed in more than one value into your print function. You want these to be separated, of course. So I'm going to demonstrate this and show you how you can use the separator. So currently we have our nums, which is this line number 3. We also have section, which is a different value. We also have this math, which can also be a different value. So what I'm going to do is separated by commas. I'm going to put name here, and also I'm going to put math here. So I want you to look at what happens. So if I save and run, you can see down here, right down here, these values. The first one is the nums, right? And then the second one is section, and then the third one is the module. So these are separated by spaces. You can then pass in a separator here if you want them to be separated by a different separator. So for instance, I can say sep and then put an equal sign. And then this is going to be a string. A string is always in quotation marks. I want this to be separated by equal signs, maybe 3 equal signs. Let me save and run. You can see now, if you look down here, you can see each value is separated by these equal signs. So the first value and the second value, there are 3 equal signs, and then the second value and the last value, they're separated by equal signs. You can specify a different separator. It's all up to you. You can say I want some dashes. If you save and run, you can see now dashes have been applied here. You can also separate using new lines. So /n is a new line. So if I save and run, you can see now each value has been put on a separate line. So this is how the separator works. But by default, the separator is going to be just a space like this. So if you don't specify a separator here, these values will be separated by a space. So if I save and run, you can see the spaces over here and the space over here. You can also use a separator if you unpack your values. So I'm going to remove the math and the name. I'm only going to remain with nums because this is what we want to unpack. So we want to unpack these values that are inside this list. Otherwise, if we don't, of course, it will be printed like one object, right? If I save and run, you can see it's just one object. But the moment I put an asterisk here to unpack those values, if I save and run, you can see they are separated by spaces because the separator by default separate these values using spaces. I can specify a new separator here. I can say, okay, I want these to have a new line. So if I save and run, here, you can see these numbers now are on different lines because of this separator, which is a new line. You can also say want this to have this. You can save and run. You can see these numbers are now separated by those dashes. You can specify 2 separators. If I save and run, you can see here they have been separated by this and also by this new line. So this is basically how you can use a separator argument in the print function. All right, so I hope it's making a lot of sense. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, remember to do so. I hope to see you in our next video. For now, I'm out. Bye bye.